Hi, and welcome to Weight Loss Wednesday. I'm Chef AJ, the author of The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss, and this is where I show you recipes that will help you achieve and maintain healthy, permanent, and sustainable weight loss. Today I'm going to be showing you one of my favorite recipes from my book, The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss. You can find it on page 216, and it's called CranPEARy Relish. Like cranberry relish, but I'm using pears, and I'm using them actually for sweetness. In my first book, Unprocessed, I use dates. Dates are healthy, they're a whole natural food, but they're 1,300 calories a pound, and if you're struggling with sugar addiction or trying to lose weight, they are pretty calorically dense, although they are quite healthy. So by substituting pears, roasting the pears brings out the natural sweetness, and they're very sweet, but they're of a much lower caloric density, and the relish will be every bit as delicious. So I'm not going to follow my recipe exactly, because the truth is I don't even follow my own recipes, and when you're doing something raw, this is meaning raw, uncooked, we're not going to be cooking it on the stove like traditional cranberry relish. So it's going to take a fraction of the time. It's not going to have a cup of sugar like most traditional cranberry relishes. But when you're using whole natural ingredients, the fruit, the whole fruit, nothing but the whole fruit, just use whatever fruit you like in whatever proportions you like. And of course, how sweet it is will depend on your sweet tooth and on how ripe the fruit is, and whether, of course, you roast it or not. And if it's not sweet enough, you don't ever have to go to sugar or agave or maple syrup or any processed sweetener, coconut nectar, or any of those weird monk fruit. You know, the best sugar is none, the best oil is none, the best salt is none. Use whole natural food, the fruit, the whole fruit, nothing but the whole fruit. So help you God. I did a whole cookbook called A Date with Dessert, just using fruit, that will be out hopefully the beginning of next year. I was a pastry chef for 5 years, an executive pastry chef at a restaurant that wasn't even vegan in Los Angeles called Sante Restaurant. I didn't use any sugar. I just used dates, either in their whole natural form, or I made date syrup, or I made date paste. So I am going to show you how to do this, and the equipment you need is as follows. You need a food processor fitted with the S-blade. You know, a blender and a food processor, sorry guys, they're not interchangeable. A blender is to liquefy things. You can make great sorbets and smoothies, but you do need a food processor. This is the Cuisinart. I got it for $99 on sale at Costco. You can get food processors for less than $100 at Walmart that are good quality. If you can afford the Breville Sous Chef for $400, go for it. I always say get the best that you can afford. The thing is I really recommend you get one that's at least 14 cups. Those little 8 cup and 6 cup, 11 cups, they're just not gonna be big enough to really do anything, particularly my recipes. And so you wanna use what's called the S-blade. It's called the S-blade because it looks a little bit like the letter S. Not exactly, but it's different than the shredding blade. And the only other equipment, you'll need some kind of a spatula or a spoon. Everything is better in purple if you ask me. To get the zest off the orange, you'll use a tool called a zester. These are like $10 at pretty much any store that sells tools. Sometimes you see them at the regular grocery store. You can use a microplane. That's also about $10, but it makes it really, really fine, like shavings. And I prefer these like the zesting. I probably should have showed you how to do that, but I like to have everything ready so I can just talk to you. And then to roast your pears, you just need a roasting pan. So I like to do everything on what's called a Silpat. This is a non-stick silicone baking mat. You can get these at like Williams-Sonoma, online, Amazon. They last forever. That way you don't have to keep using parchment paper. You don't ever have to use oil when you have a Silpat. They're oven safe to 450 degrees. They come in all kinds of sizes. So I usually just put it on this and I do it in my air fryer. I mean, I can roast in my air fryer because the air fryer, the Breville, is also an oven. If you don't have an air fryer, you can get something called, looks like I'm in jail, these Crispies trays. You can look at my Amazon store, Amazon.com/shop/Chef AJ. I can link to it. So these are great for making air fries when you don't have an air fryer. But you do want to roast your pears because that's what's going to bring out the sweetness. Because even if you can get really, really sweet pears, they're going to be really kind of mushy and watery. And so we don't want that in the relish. So I roast them and then they get all caramelized and the sugar comes out. So this isn't quite dried fruit, so it won't have the caloric density of dates, but some of the water has been cooked out and it just gives it just a really lovely, delicious flavor. I use the jarred pears from Trader Joe's. I think it comes in a 25-ounce jar. There's no sugar added. And then I can reuse the jars to give people gifts like my barefoot dressing. If you saw my Thanksgiving webinar, then you could see me make it exactly as according to this recipe. I'm going to go off the chart a little bit because that's how I really cook. And make sure that you please sign up for my mailing list at eatunprocessed.com or Chef AJ website, because I don't always remember to tell you all the cool stuff I have going on, like the webinar, which was free, and you could download the recipes, and maybe it's still available, I'm not really sure. let's get started. The thing that takes the longest is me talking. The cooking part is really, really easy. So we're gonna put our food processor on the base. And of course, what would any kind of cranberry relish be without cranberries? So here we have some beautiful organic cranberries. Again, I don't really measure, but I believe this was, I know cranberries can come in an 8-ounce bag, a 16-ounce bag, or a 12-ounce bag. I think that was an 8-ounce bag. So I'm gonna just pulse these a little bit just to get them broken up. And you know, you don't have to only eat cranberry relish at the holidays. It's great on oatmeal, banana ice cream, freeze cranberries, so you can always make this. And then I'm gonna add my orange. It's supposed to be 2 oranges, but I only had 1. This is a navel orange, as opposed to one that's in the other armed forces. I was just kidding, but you could use a cara or a blood orange is great. And I always like to use the zest if it's organic because it just imparts a lovely flavor. You don't want to get the pith. Somebody said, oh, your relish was bitter. And I saw how they zested their orange. They went all the way down to the bitter white. No, you just want to do the first swipe. So I'm going to put the zest in, and I'm going to process again for just a little bit. Probably put everything in at once. So this is my roasted pears, and you know, sometimes pears just aren't sweet enough, so that's why roasting can help. So that's the basic recipe. We've got the cranberries, the roasted pears, the orange, and the zest of the orange. Now, there's nothing wrong with just serving it like this. This is gonna be absolutely delicious, but I'm sort of an experimental chef, and so what I wanna do, just for variety for today, I'm gonna add a couple of other things. One of the things you can add, it's completely optional, are chia seeds, not because I'm worried about my omega-3 fatty acids. Oops, they're going all over the counter. But chia is a natural thickener. In my book on processed, I told people to use psyllium husk to thicken, but this is so much better, and it's cheaper, and it's readily available. You don't have to go to the pharmacy to get it. But just for fun, because I didn't have 2 oranges, I'm gonna add some cherries. I think this is about a cup of organic frozen cherries that have been defrosted. I'm gonna put that in there, and a little piece of ginger. I always keep ginger peeled and frozen in little sizes, but this size in my freezer, and that's going in today. Oh, Alexa, off. That was so nice of her to tell me that. So this is really gonna bump up the color, and it's gonna be a beautiful color. And like I say, you know, you don't need the chia seeds, but since I've got them already measured out, what the heck, this is gonna make it really, really thick. And for those of you that worry about your omega-3 fatty acids, it's going to give you lots of those. So the cherries just made it a really, really beautiful color. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put it in a bowl. Now the chia seeds aren't gonna thicken immediately, but a few hours in the fridge, it will thicken. And this is gonna be, as some of my young nieces say, off the hook or off the chain or whatever. And my husband loves this, and we do love it on banana and ice cream. It's so, so good. We love it on our acorn stuffed squash or our stuffed butternut squash. Those recipes are in both of my books. But again, you don't have to limit your cranberry relish eating to the holidays. Freeze cranberries, you'll always have them ready. So there you have it. Quick, easy, delicious, using the fruit, the whole fruit, nothing but the whole fruit. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Chef AJ, and I truly believe you can have both the health and the body that you so richly deserve. Take care.